Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Meriwether County Board of Commissioners, June 27th, 2023, 6 p.m. meeting. I hereby call this meeting to order. If you will, please silence your cell phones and any other electronic devices. If you will, please stand for the invocation given by Mr. Bill Gregory and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right. Father, we come to you, Lord, thank you for all the blessings, several nice words. Meetings down in it represents praise. Even Lord, we do this for go through the business of the county, knowledgeable decision, praise again, David, the sin house. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Next item is to adopt the agenda. Is there any need for addition?
Chairman and board, staff would like to add number 12 under new business as public transportation service agreement between Three Rivers and Meriwether County.
Okay. Any other changes? Madam Administrator, any other changes?
Oh, no, sir.
All right.
My apologies.
Hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda? So moved. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. All right, motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. No presentations. Next item is finance report. Mr. Bill.
You got the, what's the front of you, the two, continues to go down from the high to the 3 months. Down in MDIP, down on the journey, is $5 million. Our expenses run about 1.1 million. One, we've got plenty of money. Cover the rest of the fiscal year, so we're feeling pretty good shape, real good shape. That's all I really have in the report.
Any commissioners have any questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Mr. Bill. Next item is citizen comment. We do have one request. That's Miss Stella Owens. Miss Owens, if you'll please come to the podium, just state your name and address for the record. We'll give you 3 minutes from the time you start, and we'll get back with you after that, okay?
Okay. My name is Stella Owens, and I live at 130 Copeland Circle, Manchester, Georgia, 31816. Good evening. To the commissioners, I sincerely thank you for your time. As I stated, my name is Stella Owens, and I'm a resident of this county, Meriwether. The purpose that I'm here is I can't at my home at 130 Copeland Circle, which is the water drainage and the damage and repairs. I'm here to check on the progress that has supposedly been made with this project. To this date, nothing has been done. I'm respectively requesting the status of this project. For the repairs, the residuals of the water has been handled. Excuse me. I've submitted evidence, pictures. Several contractors have assessed this problem, licensed. Nothing still hasn't been done. And I think I have about 8 people that has looked. The commissioners back in the day, which was Charles Neely, Beth Neely, Mr. Bruce O'Neill, his workers Rip, AJ Harris, Terrell Johnson, Mr. Bill Carthon, Brian, and I think 5 or 6 other people, 4 or 5 other people came, and you all assessed it. But I'm requesting that the problem be handled, because as of now, where I cannot get in and out of my door because of the joists and the damage, there was a snake. I've seen 2, and they can easily come in my home. So I wanted to present this to you all so that you can do something rapidly. And I know it takes time and protocol. You have to go through protocol, but you must understand that I'm a woman that lives alone, and I'm afraid in there. I can't get out the back door in case it's a fire. I got asthma. I can't get out of my house in case there is a fire. So I want you all to take in consideration, and I respectfully request that you get on it as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Owens. That was the only citizen comment. We'll move to next item, and that's the minutes from the June 14th, 2023 regular meeting. You all have had time to read over those. Is there any need for change? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept as presented.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. No need for public hearing. Next item is appointments. Item number one, appointment to DFAX District 4 to fill a 5-year term. I do not have anyone at this point, so I do make a motion to table this until the next meeting. Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item, appointment to the library board to fill a 3-year term, current term to expire 6/30/2023. I spoke to Ms. Kilby with the library, as well as Angie Shower from Manchester. Angie does a lot of work in the community, and she would love to be on this board. So I make a motion to appoint Angie Shower to the library board. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Item number 3, Disabilities Board to fill a 3-year term. Current term will expire 6/30/2023. Do any commissioners have any possibilities? Hearing none, do I have a motion to table?
Make a motion to table to the next regular meeting.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Appointment to Kathy to fill an unexpired term. There was an individual that was on the Kathy board that had to resign due to work responsibilities. So if any of you have anyone that would like to sit on the Kathy board, please let us know and we'll be glad to appoint them. Y'all have anybody that you could think of? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to table?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item is unfinished business. Item number 1, ACCG Property and Liability Renewal Contract, and allow the chair to sign.
Yes, staff is asking for permission to move forward with ACCG for the property and liability renewal contract. We introduced this at the last meeting. The amount has a substantial increase, and that is due to a 5-year loss ratio of 128.58%.
Say that percent again.
128.58. So 128.58%.
Okay.
And that's for a 5-year loss ratio. We did put out some other bids, but staff's recommendation is to move forward with ACCG.
Any commissioners have any questions? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion to accept ACCG property and liability renewal.
And allow the
Present.
chairman to
And
sign.
allow the chairman to sign.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item is new business. Item number 1, agency subsidies fiscal year 2023-2024 budget request approval, and allow the chair to sign. First is DFAX. That was presented to us at the last meeting. The DA's office also presented, as well as the public defender. Health Department had no change. The library did request an increase, and the county agent, I believe, stayed the same. So any commissioners have any questions on these? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the DFAX proposed? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to accept the DA office request for budget?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Excuse me, do we need to mention the amount?
It was already brought up in the last meeting.
Okay.
I said per last meeting.
Gotcha.
Do I have a motion to accept for the DA?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have, all right, motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item for public defender. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item, public or health department. Do I have a motion to accept? I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Next item, library. Do I have a motion to accept? the budget request?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. County agent, do I have a motion to accept the budget request?
So
And
moved.
sign the contract.
I already put that up there.
You did? I didn't hear you say that.
Allow the chair to sign.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do I have a motion to accept the county agent?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Bill, one more interruption. and you got-
That's 2 strikes.
There won't be a third.
Ah,
All right, item number 2, review recommendation and approve bid for Strickland Town Road culvert replacement.
Thank you, Chair. As you will see in your package, there is the sign-up sheet from the Strickland Town required bid meeting, as well as those who put in the RFP. Staff's recommendation is to go with Piedmont Paving and Grading at the low bid of $391,750 for the Strickland Town Road culvert project.
To go with which one?
Piedmont Paving and Grading, which is the low bidder. The amount of the bid is $391,750.
Any commissioners have any questions? Do I have a motion to accept the bid from Piedmont Paving for $391,750? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
To set the funding source.
Staff's recommendation would be T-Splosh.
So $391,750, motion to come from T-Splosh?
sir.
You want me
Yes,
to
sir.
just-
Yes,
okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Motion carries. All right, review recommendation and approve bid for River Cove Road at Tarver Branch culvert replacement.
This one is very similar. There was a mandatory pre-bid meeting. You'll have that sign-in sheet in your package as well as a bid sheet. There were 2 options for this. Staff's recommendation is to approve Piedmont Paving and Grading as the lowest bid at $169,900 for option 2 for the River Cove Road culvert project.
What does option 2 include?
Option 2 is going with the pipe that we purchased that was approved before instead of the box culvert. It is substantially more economical to go with this choice. As you can see, there is a breakdown for option 1 on each of these. Staff's recommendation is to go with option 2 at the $169,900 with the pipe that we already have on site. However, that's up to y'all.
Any
We
questions?
don't get any kind of funding to help with these projects?
No, unfortunately, the rain event that happened in March was not part of the declared event that happened in January, so there's no funding from FEMA available for this. Troop County did call and get some of our numbers and they were denied. We were denied for that event.
And we had already purchased that pipe. We were gonna have to replace it anyway.
Wasn't there some discussion though, to fix it and fix it right and be done with it? Would it not be better? I guess you get into that, Bill. Is the pipe gonna be sufficient or are we gonna redo it again on a big rain, or should we go with a box culvert?
The polymer, the new polymer pipe that everybody's using now, and it's got like a 50-year life expectancy. So that versus the concrete, you may get what, 100 or more?
But is the pipe big enough to handle it? Or is it-
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's equivalent to basically the same thing that box covers would have been put in there.
You gonna have head walls,
Sir,
head walls.
yes. They'll have concrete head walls and all, which these other
Oh, okay.
pipes did not.
That's in the option 2, the
Yeah. In my understanding, these pipes were put in by DOT many years ago and they were used when they put them in. So,
I didn't realize the head walls was gonna be part of it. I
Yes.
thought y'all was talking about just the pipe and that's it. And we don't wanna have to fix it again.
Cause that's the second time it's been replaced.
That's what I'm
since I've been
saying.
here.
And that's down in Emmons District.
Mhm.
we've made temporary repairs for
Box cover would be the best in my opinion, but we already got the pipes.
Right.
We can't use them and they gonna put a head wall on it. So I'm thinking, well, maybe the pipes won't get hit with the track hoe when they clean it out.
The head wall should keep the road part from.
They'll also keep the debris where it doesn't get hung up and
When they go down there and clean it out with the track hoe, they won't be able to bend the pipe.
That's good. Then that solved the problem and saved some taxpayer money.
I wish there'd have been option 1 and 2 on the Strickland town. Maybe we'd have saved some more money.
Any other commissioners? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept Piedmont paving option number 2 in the amount of $169,900?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, motion carried.
We don't need to.
T-Splosh.
T-Splosh.
It's gonna be from the same one.
All right, item number 4, review recommendation and approved bid for Dukes Waddell Road cross drain replacement.
Okay, Chair and Commissioners, you will find this in your package as well. The approval, or I mean, I'm sorry, the recommendation from staff is with Crawford Grading. That is the low bidder for the Dukes Waddell Road Culvert project at 108,449.
And who was the bidder on that?
Crawford Grading.
However, there were others. You'll see the 3, but Crawford Grading was, Crawford Grading was the low bidder.
Any questions?
Make a motion to accept Crawford grading on, covered in on, Duke Waddell.
For 108,449 with funds coming from T-Splosh.
Yes.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, motion carries. Item number 5, addition of Trammell Bottom Road to Lemig.
Unfortunately, staff was unable to get the safety overlay amount in time for this meeting, so we'd like to table this to our next meeting.
Okay.
We have the estimate as we had in the last meeting, but we do not have the actual estimate.
Can I back up for a second? I just saw something. That last one we was doing was on Waddell Road, correct?
Duke's Waddell, yes.
Right. And it says right here, Piedmont paving. Oh, I see the ones on the line. Never mind.
Yeah.
What?
No, it wasn't that much. of a
Whoever wrote
difference.
that, I'm going, wait a minute, $55,000 is a lot cheaper than 108, but the way it copied, it's
I see it.
okay.
Who wrote that? Allison? Oh.
I'm sorry.
It was me.
All right.
Apologies.
I apologize.
Do I have a motion to table the addition of Trammell Bottom Road to the MIG program until the next meeting?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, motion carries. Item number 6 is approval of 12,500 contribution to Manchester 4th of July. Manchester has requested from the county this additional money. They are doing it for the entire county. The cost of fireworks and vendors have increased over the years. So they did ask for this. It's only a very small portion of what Manchester is actually putting out, but they do invite everybody to come out free. They have different entertainment there as well. So do I have a motion to approve the $12,500 contribution for the 4th celebration?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Item number 7, property lease, Town of Lone Oak.
Chairman and Commissioners, when the fire district and the fire bonds were approved, there were fire stations that were identified and locations identified for these fire stations. This agreement was provided to the town of Lone Oak for execution at their meeting. Unfortunately, there was a tragic event before this could be executed. So we just want to make sure everything is on file and executed correctly. So staff is bringing this to the board for approval and we'll send it to Lone Oak for their execution as well.
And at the time, the county had signed their portion and sent it to the town of Lone Oak, correct? And that event
Well, it
took
was supposed to
place.
come back to the county for execution. We're just doing it back.
Any commissioners have any questions?
This has been reviewed by the attorneys and.
It has.
Do I have a motion?
So moved and allow
Second
signatures all the way.
and a second. All right, motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Done.
Request to purchase a computer aided dispatch server.
We have, Brent Jones is not on the line, our 911 director. However, Matthew is here, our IT director, I believe, yes. We've done some research on this. I'll let our IT director give some more direction on this.
All right, so I got the software specs from Bryn and had some quotes done based off what the software vendor said that they needed to adequately run their software program. The one that I'm recommending is adding to our additional server. It's not the cheapest, but it does add to what we already have. It will give us more than adequate space to run this new CAD software on, and it will also give us some room to grow in the future should we need it. So the one that I'm recommending, the total is $23,170.71. Like I said, it was not the cheapest. I actually think it was kind of close to the most expensive, but I think in the long run, it'll be the best investment for the county.
So if we need more space as we go and
Hey,
grow, we'll have it there. already.
Exactly. Yeah.
Any commissioners have any questions for Matt? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries. Item number 9, set July 12, 2023 to hear recommended text amendment to change Article 111, Section 301.
I am sorry, I apologize. It is written up for July 12th, but I know typically the board likes to hear these in the evening meeting. Would you guys prefer this at the day meeting or in the evening meeting?
How long does it add to the?
Well, the ad has to advertise at least 14 days.
So
A
we've
minimum
got
of
plenty of-
14, maximum of 45.
But I mean, the presentation to us, it won't be that much, right?
This is a text
Well,
amendment,
change-
so it's more internally, it's a
We just have to hear
definition.
it. The
This
change.
is more of an ordinance change. This is an ordinance change. And this is for, Article 3, Section 301, which is under definitions in
That's what I'm
the
saying. What is that?
zoning. I'm sorry?
What is it we're changing?
Well, it's to set the public hearing and we'll hear all of that at the public hearing.
Okay,
So
then,
we're setting the date for the public hearing.
okay, so the public won't know what we're talking about. They'd have to just, what I'm getting at is.
What
if
they
the-
can
if the
do,
Public's gonna have concern and they might want to say, or, because I don't even know what we're changing.
sure,
Then I think it should be an evening meeting so they can attend.
absolutely.
But if
And
they
that's
don't know
up
what
to
it's
y'all.
about, they don't know why they're attending.
Well, it's here. It's Article 3, Section 301, which is Appendix B of subdivision regulations in our ordinance.
So,
Just for clarity, I think it is changing the definition of final plats.
Minor,
Minor.
yes.
Which, they wanted to the final platting a, requirement for, not just subdivisions, but for any, multiple.
It's just to get clarification. We've had some discussion with the clerk of court. We want to have clarification of what the planning and zoning department needs to do in order to record the plats.
But it's to change the definition for platting.
and I think the 25th would be better too. We'll just do it at night. So do I have a motion to set July 25th to hear recommended text amendment to change Article 111, Section
It's
3?
actually Section 3, Article 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Article 3, sorry. Why'd you write it like that? Section 301. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion and do I have a second? Motion and a second, all in favor, motion carries. Item number 10, set July 25th, 2023 to hear recommended text amendment to change Article 16, Section 16-2D.
Changed that as well to July 25th, so that
I did.
And that is in Appendix A zoning. It's a text amendment change in Appendix A zoning.
Changing that one to the 25th too. So.
That one there is just, the planning commission will change their meetings to the third Monday of the month instead of the fourth. And all that one is for that third Monday to be approved.
Thank you. Well, if we're gonna do it,
So does that one need to be on the
It's
12th?
on the 12th, so we can do the third Monday of July.
because you have to advertise for it. So do I have a motion to set July 25th to hear the recommended text amendment
We
change?
need this one on the 12th so that,
okay, thoroughly confused.
I know. All right. July 12th for this one. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, motion carries. Item number 11, set July 25th, 2023 to hear case number 2023-009, rezoning of 17.81 acres on the corner of Todd Road and Highway 27, Roosevelt Highway from RR to NHC. Do I have a motion to set this as a public hearing?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, motion carries. Item number 12, transportation agreement with Three Rivers in Meriwether County.
We received the transit agreement from Three Rivers. This has been sent to legal. There was a couple of edits that needed to be made. It has been sent back to Three Rivers with those changes. So this is more of a housekeeping. There is no increase in the amount that we are asked to pay Three Rivers, and it can go up to, but not to exceed 29,500, which is the same amount as last year.
And the contract is basically the same. The only difference, the only substantive difference is that they took out a third-party operator provisions that they had in there during the previous year.
And I need to correct my number. It's 25,900. I had a dyslexic moment.
25-9. Any other commissioners have any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the transportation agreement with Three Rivers in Meriwether County in the amount not to exceed 25,900 and let the chair to sign?
So moved.
I swear if I get motion,
Second.
second, all in favor, motion carries. If I get interrupted one more time. All right. Next item on the agenda is report from county administrator.
Thank you. Public Works is planning on replacing cross drain pipes on Hidden Lakes tomorrow. They're going to have the road closed between 9 and 12. Signage has been put out to let residents know, and there's steel plates that can be utilized if anyone needs to get out. The next joint comprehensive plan update meeting is July 12th at 2 o'clock. Just a reminder, the deadline for completion and submission is October 31st of this year, which of course we're working with Three Rivers. We're in compliance and we're on a timeline to make that, but just want to remind everyone of that as DCA sent that out today. And the deadline for service delivery strategy is 10/31 of 2028, just to put on your calendar. Meriwether County recently had the open enrollment period. It went very well. Many of our employees told Valerie, the HR director, that they were pleased and that we were able to stay with Anthem Blue Cross. There were enrollment representatives from NFP, the retirement consultants, and AFLAC on site. 35 employees met with the retirement consultant. 11 employees increased their current contributions, and 13 employees began contributing for the first time. 56 employees met with one of the enrollers from NFP, and 41 employees met with the AFLAC representative. We also had a department head meeting on June 21st. That was very successful. We had a lot of input from the departments and made a lot of connections in there. And the survey is in for Beulah Evans property, and the appraiser will be going out to the properties as soon as they can, so we can get that.
We have a time frame on that.
We don't, we did hear from them today. So. And that's all I have.
Any commissioners have any questions for the administrator? All right, next item, report from the county commissioners. Commissioner Collins.
I just want to thank all the county employees for continuing to do a good job, and the P-pads have been completed at Lake Meriwether on the disc golf. And don't forget Tile House Farm Brewery is having fireworks on July the 1st, free admission. They got a couple of bands, and also the Manchester fireworks on July the 3rd. And then I just like to tell everybody to have a happy and safe 4th of July.
All right. Commissioner Plant.
Don't really have a whole lot to say other than wish everyone a safe and happy Independence Day Tuesday. And I know there'll be a lot of folks traveling for vacations or whatever, so just come back home safe. That's all.
Mr. King.
Yeah, I know we have these meetings twice a month and we all get to have opportunity to say something. So I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record when I talk about the dirt roads. But I'm looking at these emails that I'm getting, and we've got one here on Cato Finley Road. I went down and looked at it. His wife's car could not even go down the road at all when we was having the rains. The ruts were so deep, the car would bottom out. He stated the same thing everybody else stated. He goes, they did come out and finally scrape the road. But when it rains, all the water runs right down the center of the road and doesn't run off the road. So it just becomes worse and worse. I got another email here from another road on Split Rail Farm Road. The guy said, Mr. King, I know you and we're glad you're our commissioner. But my neighbors are going down to the railroad tracks with buckets and wheelbarrows and taking gravel off the railroad tracks to put in front of their driveways. I think they got out there this week and spread some gravel because they sent me a follow-up saying, thanks for getting us some gravel. But I think Bill passed it on. He hadn't been there to look at it yet, but he did pass it on, and I think they got it because I hadn't been out there, but they did seem to be quite happy with it. We got another road in the county. The guy actually just had a dozer brought in and reshaped the ditches, fixed it all up, crowned it, shaped it up. It looks beautiful. It's like it needs to be. And county put some gravel on it, and then he paid for 2 or 3 loads out of his own pocket to put on it. So I don't know how the rest of the commissioners feel. Our emergency things like the county courthouse leaking, yes, we got to fix it. The jail, we got to solve our problems. But all these other buildings and stuff that we're going to be voting on to spend money on that we've gotten this far with, my personal opinion, if we don't start focusing on the taxpayers' dirt roads, I just assume not vote to spend any more money in this county as their commissioner. I know that maybe don't sound right, but it's time for the dirt roads to be addressed. It's time for them to be fixed. This one guy said he moved it from Fayetteville and he's paying 3 times the taxes he paid in Fayette County, and he can't get his road fixed. If they're paying taxes and paying on time, they should be able to drive decently to their homes and to work from their homes. They chose to be on a dirt road. So, I mean, if it's muddy a little bit and the car gets dirty, we ain't watching them. They made that choice. And I myself would not live on a dirt road because I like my truck to stay very clean. But however, they are taxpayers. They do live in this county and they look up to us for help. So I'm hoping, I know we got some things in the work, and Bill was telling me earlier, we got a process, their fixtures start going down. And I hope between that and all of us commissioners working together, that they'll all start taking deep breaths and go, man, we're finally getting somewhere. So, and then have a good, safe 4th too.
Commissioner Worsley.
I just thank everyone for the work they're doing. Appreciate it. Similar to Commissioner King, I'm getting a lot of phone calls about roads, but I'm also getting a lot of phone calls about they're noticing some of the work we're doing. So there's progress being made, and there's some people excited and happy about that. So that's great, and I appreciate the help and the effort you guys are doing there. And like everyone else, I hope everyone has a safe, happy holiday.
Thank you. And I'll just say the ditto to everything they said, and be safe on the 4th of July. I think they actually said it all. So next item is report from our county attorney.
I have no report. I do understand we have need for a very brief executive session for litigation and personnel.
All right. Our future meetings and notices, July 4th, 2023, the offices will be closed in observance of Independence Day. Our next meeting will be July 12th, 2023 at 9 a.m. and then July 25th, regular meeting at 6 p.m. Do I have a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of litigation and personnel? So have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. We're in executive session at 6:33. Do I have a motion to go back into regular session?
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor? We are back in regular session at 7:32. There was no action taken in executive session, but we do need to amend the original agenda. Item number 10 under new business, we need to set that amendment date for July 25th at our regular scheduled 6 p.m. meeting. Do I have a motion to amend item number 10 under new business?
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. We want to set a work session for the purpose of budget and personnel on July 13th at 4 p.m. Do I have a motion to set the work session for that date?
So moved.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Is there anything else to come before the board? I did. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. We're adjourned.